Welcome to the Chaos Corner, where we laugh, spiral, and figure it out anyways. I'm your host, Kiara Gray, and today, you already know what you need to do. And yeah, is that a little blunt? Yes. But today we're going to get into stuff like avoidance, denial, and that gut feeling. So sit down, buckle in, and get ready to get deep. Now, the biggest thing that we need to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching or listening, is ignoring the red flags. I mean, people, habits, situations. We have a tendency to see all the green flags in people that we ignore the screaming red flags in front of us. And this could be reoccurring. This could be developments that appear, but you're always trying to find the good in someone, but you're like, oh yeah, but X, Y, and Z does this. And then, that one red flag is this. Well, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, listen. The red flags appear one time because they're going to continue to appear if you continue to allow it. Now, these red flags can be that guy not picking up his phone, only texting you after hours, but won't text you throughout the day. Your partner going no communication. People in your friend group having little side conversations and getting silent when you appear. These are those red flags. And this brings me to the big sister rule number 2. Asking those hard questions and letting it go. We have a tendency to try to divert from the truth and ask those questions that you've been wanting to ask, whether it be your partner, parents, friends, because you want to avoid conflict. And it's really hard to continue to let things go by as you continue to see these red flags and not do anything about it. And I know you might be the person that wants to keep the peace. You might be the person that are like, well, it's not that big of a red flag to really dive into. Well, how many times has that flag got to wave in front of your face before you do it? So, I will say I'm not perfect. I've received red flags and continue to ignore it. But when you get older, and I hate hearing that when I was younger, when you get older, you'll understand. No, shut up. I won't. I know how I'm feeling, standing my ground. But being 26, and I'm telling you, when that frontal lobe fully develops, you start seeing things you never realized before. Where you don't allow certain behaviors to happen. No, I'm going to stand my ground or admit when you're wrong. No, I didn't like how you moved. I didn't like how you approached that situation. I didn't like what you said to that person. Oh, you say that about that person. Well, what are you saying behind my back? What are you saying about me? And I'm not trying to be toxic by no means in this episode, but I want you guys to realize, what are the red flags that you're allowing around you and not doing anything about it? So, why are we staying stuck? Why are we staying? Why are we staying in that relationship with that guy? Why are we staying at that job that only sees you as a number and doesn't see you as a person? Why are you not going into that career that you want to go in? Why are we staying in situations that don't work? When are you going to start standing up for yourself? And when are you going to start being honest with yourself about these conversations that you're having with these people that aren't letting you know what's going on? Now, the biggest thing we do is avoidance. We try to avoid the situation in hopes that it'll work itself out. Or you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm just overthinking this, or I'm just making it bigger than it needs to be. No, you're not. You're not listening to your gut. You're trying to divert from the truth, and that's the hardest thing you can do. That avoidance creates denial. And with those two things, you're not following your gut feeling. So let me tell you about a story about a time I went on a trip, and it was a group trip, where something told me not to go. And I'm like, I don't know if I should go. And I talked to my one friend. I was like, I don't know. I'm having a feeling I shouldn't go. And then I'm being told, like, no, go. It'll be fun. You never been to this place. Like, it's a great group. You don't know what's going to happen. You got to live life. You're young. You're single. Do it. Live life. And that one time I didn't listen to my gut feelings was dealing with situations I never thought I would be dealing with. Putting myself in rooms that I never wanted to ever be in. And that's really hard because you try to put yourself out of this comfort zone, but continue to set limitations of what you will allow instead of things that you won't allow. And that right there is a hard truth to swallow, because I myself struggle with knowing to follow my gut or to question it. And at times when I did follow my gut, I was right. When that intuition, when that second voice in your head is like, no, don't do that. Or maybe go about it this way. Or quit that job. Get a new job. Take that opportunity. Jump on it. Start that new career. Start that podcast. Listen to it. Because the amount of times I've not listened to that voice in my head has put me exactly in the situation that I'm in. And this could be like when I was in high school, like, oh, I want to go to college. And I listened to everyone, oh, go to a junior college. Take a couple classes. It's going to be a lot easier. You can get all your gen eds out of the way, and then you could go to a 4-year. Honestly, I wish I went to a 4-year. But at the same time, I'm glad I went to a junior college, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know where I wanted to be. I don't know what career I was down. I was always the type that felt like I could do so many things. And I never wanted to put myself in a box where I'm limited based off of what I have credentials for. I like to go get licensed. One day I decided one weekend I was going to get my motorcycle license. I got it. I took a real estate class, see how it was, see if I liked it. It was nice, but not something I was interested in. I work in finance, and I do like it, but it's not the end game. And my gut feeling told me to do this podcast. Speak your mind. Talk to whoever listens. Who knows where this is going to take me, if it's going to lead to someone that actually really needs to hear these big sister rules, or just have a one-on-one conversation without really knowing someone. And I say this all the time about, like, sometimes you don't want to go to your friends. You don't want to go to your parents, your siblings, because maybe it's a situation you're not really ready to open up about. And it's crazy. It's easier to open up to a stranger than it is the people that you're close with. And I hope that this is a place for you. Now, how do we start being honest with ourselves? How do I start listening to that voice? First, you have to get over worrying about how things are going to turn out, if a friendship's going to last or end, if a relationship's going to end. You really have to sit down with yourself and acknowledge everything that's happening around you. And do you want to be in that same situation 5 years from now? Do I want that friendship? You're going to get to a certain age where you're going to be like, do I want these people around my kids? Do I see these people at my wedding? Do I see these people at my graduation? Do I want those people in the room when big things are happening? Or do I just like having a large group? I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You don't need a large group of people. You can have those good 2 people and be set. You don't need a large crowd. And that was something hard for me. I had a tendency to want to be around everybody. I like large groups. I like having group settings. I like going out with friends, having large dinner tables. I always wanted a big group around me. When in reality, I only needed that good handful of people because they were there for me when I was down. They were there for me when I was going through stuff. They're always there. And also I'm there for them. Having those people that you can go to and talk about these things will benefit you in the long run. But what is sitting in your mind right now? What is one thing that you can't let go? What questions are you not answering? And I want to introduce something to you guys called Give Yourself a Week to Answer the Question and Burn It. I want you to answer the hard questions. I want you to have the conversation with those people you were wanting to have conversations with, but yet have done it. Whether that be on paper and letting out those emotions that you may wanted to tell that person, or recording it and deleting it. Give yourself a week to answer that question and burn it. But once that thing is burnt, you're letting it go. No more avoidance on the topic, no more denial. You're letting it go. And this is why this episode is called You Already Know What You Need to Do, because you have the answer, but you're not ready to admit that that's the solution for your problems. Maybe it's the conversation you have with your parents. Maybe you need to let go. Maybe you need to stop taking on the burden of everybody else and letting them figure it out. Maybe you have to be the friend that's blunt and tell the truth and tell it how it is and be okay with the repercussions that come from it. Because would you rather be someone that said it and told your truth, or be the person that sat back and let it happen? Because then you can at least let them know, like, hey, I told you this is how it was going to go. And I wanted to make sure you were okay. And you weren't. You didn't listen to me. You didn't see what was going to happen. But hey, I'm here for you. I said what I had to say. And hopefully that friend, family will come back and be like, dang, I should have listened. And I'm sorry for that. But you also have to realize that some people may take that and never admit that they were wrong and that you were right. And that right there is hard. I've had to deal with it multiple times with certain situations, certain people, and I think I'm still holding on to it slightly. It's hard to let go of the things that you don't have a resolution on or closure. Closure isn't always the answer, and closure isn't always needed. You don't need to get the I hear you, I see you, I understand you. You might get the F you, we're no longer friends, or we're breaking up. And you know what? That's okay, because that's what was meant to happen. But as long as you say your truth and stand on it and follow your gut feeling, that avoidance and denial will go away. And the craziest thing about your mind is it likes to trick you at times where it brings up old situations. You're dreaming of past friendships, past relationships, and you're like, dang, did I miss something in there? What do these dreams mean? I think it's your subconscious trying to trick you into thinking you have to revisit a situation that's already been closed. Sometimes it's not always great to rip off the Band-Aid and have the conversation again. It's okay to let it scap up and leave it alone. That's a little gross, but you get what I'm saying. But I just want you guys to be honest with yourself. We don't always have to be stuck. There's going to be times where you are, and you might not have the resolution or the closure or the right thing to say at times, but if something's telling you to do it, do it. If you have that gut feeling like, I need to have that one conversation, and I need it to be one conversation, and I need to let it go. And I have a couple of conversations I might need to have with certain people, and just family too. And those conversations could be forming boundaries and how you don't feel like your boundaries are being respected. And that's hard. It's hard to bring up that topic, especially when it comes to family, because it's not coming out of a place of being disrespectful or acknowledging like what they've done for you. I just think it's really hard when you have very like old school style parents that are like, well, it is what it is. You have to follow what I have to say. And that's all. So maybe today or this week, answer those questions and burn it and see what freedom and clarity you get from it. Now, not all of these podcasts will be this intense, but sometimes you have to hear the hard truths in order to move forward in things. And this is that place for it. The Chaos Corner, where things are going to be happy, sad, mad, angry, hard truths. You're never going to get the same thing here. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It might be thunderstorm, tornadoes, hail, cloudy skies, sunny days. No days are the same. And just know that everyone's going through something. And you're not the only one alone. And that I hope this is a place where you can come and talk. Or even just listen. Comment. DM me. Maybe there's a conversation that you might need help walking through. Send it. I'll try my best to go through it with you. Give as many advice as I can. Because I am that big sister that you can come to. That virtual big sister. That a lot of people might need. Or maybe you are the big sister and you're tired of being the big sister. Well, let me take on some of that burden. Let's talk. I'm always here. So with that, for today's rule, as I told prior, ask those hard questions and let it go. Take this rule and put it into your everyday life. Don't keep holding on to burdens and situations and let it dwell, because that person is not dwelling on those situations. They're not thinking of, this is how I feel and this person should feel this way. You might be the only one dwelling in it and they moved on. So let's move on. Let's let it go. Have those hard conversations and let it go. All right. That's it for today. Through the Chaos Corner, where we laugh, spiral, and somehow figure it out anyways. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the chaos. So don't forget to follow and come back next time. Because let's be honest, the chaos isn't going anywhere. And until then, stay a little chaotic.